have a look at this. This is 12 months old. Look at this. Here's the other brush off the other side. Sorry, I'll focus. There you go. Look at that. What a joke. There's the other one. Completely corroded out. I haven't pulled this side apart, but this one's probably not too far from it. This Minnkota is barely 12 months old. I'll have to check, but barely 12 months old. Now, have a look at this. Look at the corrosion. This is inside the gearbox. Never have I seen such rubbish. Look, you are kidding me. Now, we've got a breather, where it is, over here. So we've got a breather here. Yep, I understand having a breather, no problems with that. They've got a bit of foam there to, I don't know, try and mitigate some of the water. But check this out. Thanks, Minnkota. Great job on your seals. You have got to be shitting me. You are kidding. This is the first time this box has ever, like I said, the whole unit be barely 12 months old. This unit's never been apart. And the screws. Have a look at the corrosion on the screws. Two of them, these ones here, were virtually frozen in place. Like they were real hard work. Almost had to get the oxy out to heat the case up to get them out. 12 months old gearbox. Have a look at the moisture in it. Now, interestingly, the moisture from this side is not from that. That is actually on this side of the gearbox. So, and have a look. You've got to be kidding me. You cannot expect anything to last if that's the state of barely 12 months worth of work. Everything is just toast. Yes, I do a fair bit of fishing, but it's got to last more than 12 months, even if it was being used every single day, which it's not. But yes, I probably fish more than most people, but oh my God, I'm going to pull that other side apart now and have a look at that. Okay, so this is the second set of brushes. I just pulled it off to do an inspection on it, and you can see they've greased up the flexi cable on both sides here. So this one is fine. On the other side, obviously the guy that does the greasing was off having smoko, and she just kept punching through the production line, so that wasn't greased at all, and that's why both sides of the other one had corroded away in less than 12 months. Okay, so these are the two brushes. That one was corroded off completely. I think that one failed first, and then when the motor actually stopped out on the water, it would do everything else. It would spot lock, it would drive, it would steer. However, when I wanted to stow it, it would turn to the stow position and then nothing. Pardon me. So I think that one had already failed, that had corroded off completely, and I think at that point that one had failed. So I'm going to try resurrect those two and solder them back onto that rusty blob. Focus, that rusty blob there, and see if we can get it working. Okay, so wasn't happy with the bit of old Minnkota wire off of that side, so I did attempt to solder it, but didn't like the joint, didn't look very nice, so I did the same as I did on that side. Cut it off, drilled it out, dipped it in acetone, then hydrochloric, and then soldered this piece of high flex wire in marine grade, tinned. Hopefully it might last a little bit longer. It is super flexy, so that's fine, and it's been cut to, it's been cut so it'll fit in here nicely. So then it's now taking it over, installing it, and completing that middle solder joint. Okay, so that middle joint's been soldered in here, and I've just done a continuity and an ohms test, resistance test, just to see, make sure my solder joints are all fine. That's all come up spot on, so ready to do the reassembly. Okay, so this is back together. The brush is in. It was a little bit fiddly doing it upside down, but not too difficult. Just got to remember you get your brushes in the right orientation. One set on the outside ring, one set on the inside ring. Look at this piece of junk over here and see what I can do about trying to stop a bit of water coming through here. Obviously, yeah, look at that, less than 12 months old. It looks like there's a few flat spots on this O-ring, so I might change those O-rings. I've got plenty here. Have a look what else I can do. Obviously that seal that's had a section missing out of it, obviously seal that up. Yeah, anyway, put it back together and give her a run, see if it solves my problem. Okay, so I've cleared the gearbox up best I can, or cleaned the gearbox up rather. It's actually got a coating of Lanox or lanolin based oil in there. I was going to give it a clean. It was quite difficult to clean. I was going to give it a weak solution of hydrochloric acid rather, but I've decided against that. I don't really know how good the quality of the material is. If it's anything like the rest of the build, not very good. And I didn't want to damage the casting, so I went old school, bit of boiling water and then some mechanical cleaning, and now, as I said, soaking in Lanox. And next I'll do the same with this. This is all not looking very happy at all, so I'll clean all of that up, lube it up, and then I'll reassemble the gearbox. Okay, so I just thought I'd have a quick look at this before I put it back together. Thought I'll just take these idlers off, have a quick look. Again, this unit is not even, well, around about the 12 months old. Look at this side, happy days, pretty good. No grease, mind you, no lubricant. I know it's plastic, but you know, plastic's not all the best. But check this bad girl out. I'll try and look. Sorry about the... there you go. Does that work? There you go. Have a look at that. Have a look at the corrosion on that. Gotta be kidding me, Minnkota. I'm going to see if I can get this rusted pin out and grease it up. And I noticed this shaft, which does the driving, that had an excessive amount of play in it. There's a washer and a spacer there, so it's not that much. And I was going to strip it down and add another washer underneath. Underneath this brass bush, which is pressed in. That way it's not spinning, so it won't wear out as quick. It's a good engineering principle. However, this face here is so badly worn, I struggled to get the washer off, and I'm not going to get it through that brass bush without filing this burr off. Problem with that is I'm taking more material away from this, and it is so, sorry camera, it is so thin. These tight asses, all I had to do was add 1 extra millimeter on the end. I did notice, I googled, I had a quick Uncle Google, and what happens with them is because of the force from the worm drive pushes the shaft up and down, it basically wears this end off here. And that's what these other videos were showing. Basically, the circlip had worn this away, and then the drive had come forward and the motor had jammed. Like, seriously, that would be 1 millimeter at best, probably 0.8 of a mil. Whatever that is, probably about 30 something thou if you're American. All they had to do was add an extra millimeter, an extra 40 thou of material. It would have cost them virtually nothing, and that problem would be eliminated. It'd have enough material on the back side of the circlip not to wear out. I know these are built as a non-serviceable item, but that sort of thing, that's basically, what do they call that term? When you engineer it to fail. Can't recall the term off the top of my head at the moment. But this thing has been designed to fail. They are setting you up as fishermen with a will not run the distance, and they call themselves a quality outfit. You're dreaming, Minnkota. Okay, so these are the two pins that assist with guiding the belt through the motor on the trim motor. That was pin A and that was pin B. That is actually the lower pin of the two, so understandably would see a little bit more moisture than the top one, potentially. That's where they come from, so I'll have to clean all of that up before I reassemble it. Now just a quick one. I've put this back together. There's the spacer that I put in because this thing is just going to go up and down and flog itself to death. So what I've done is that's a 0.9 fibre spacer, hard fibre spacer, so impervious to moisture, salt, etc. And that has now taken out all of that play. So it was nearly just under 1 millimetre of play. So every time the motor moves, trims up and down, that thing was just jumping backwards and forwards and peening out the end of the shaft, which we've already spoken about, is so thin, it's ridiculous. So anyway, that'll fix that for now, but eventually it will wear out, and only because I can. You, Minnkota, I'll actually machine the end of that shaft and I'll key it and put because I've got room in, I can, and I'll put probably a 2 millimetre end on it. So I have the capability to repair that. Understand most people don't. But again, engineered to fail. Really piss poor, Minnkota. Pins cleaned up, housing's cleaned up. I'm going to be putting it together with a molybdenum based grease, high temperature because it's very hot in the tropics where I am. So yeah, I'll put all that back together, ready to go on the boat.